I will tell you, and Jess and I were talking about this with like our team Zooms, there is an importance to showing your face. Many different things before I get started. I'll just start with this. Number one, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm not showing my face, I'm usually doing something else, which means I'm not paying full attention because I don't want you to see what I'm doing, right? And I'm like, oh, I am paying attention, but you're really not, because it's very hard to pay attention while you're doing the dishes or while you're, um, taking care of your kid. And it's just like your mind is in a million different places. I just throw on a hat and glasses, Ashley. It changes everything for you. Um, but, the other part of that too is, and when we get into the realm of social media is showing your face and stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone every single time is just going to help bring more and more confidence to you. Jess, sorry, working out. Hey, no guilt. Don't feel guilt hearing me saying this. Okay. But I'm just saying for future, right? Because I know lots of people, like when they do team Zooms, they're like cameras on or don't come on. Because I think it helps you just build confidence naturally too. You being able to sit and stare at yourself. A big thing when I started going live, probably like 4 years ago, consistently, everybody's like, and I remember this because it was before FaceTiming was really cool and everybody was doing it. But everybody's like, you're always FaceTiming. Like, why are you always FaceTiming? It would just be like ripping off the Band-Aid for Facebook Live for me, being able to FaceTime people. And then, because I think we struggle most with seeing our own face versus seeing someone else's. Like, am I right or am I right? Like, I think most of the time we're just like, I don't want to look at myself. And especially when you're on Facebook Live, you're just like talking to yourself, really, it feels like you're staring at yourself. You have to get comfortable doing that. The only way you're going to get comfortable doing that is by doing it more and more. I just had this conversation with Zane because he did really well on his math. He scored really high. And he's like, but I hate subtraction, Mom. Like, I just hate it. And I was like, I get it. But how do you get better at it? And he's like, by practicing. So instill that part in your mind. You're just going to get better and better at it by doing it more. And I also think there's a personality, a personability about being able to show face, right? Like when you're doing a Zoom, let's say with a prospect, I'm pretty sure you don't have your camera off. That would be kind of weird, right? Like if you guys are talking and they just see like your picture up there. I always try to have my camera on. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have pajama pants on. Okay. From here up is like a hat, glasses, because I'm hiding. You don't have to do all of the things all of the time, but you just start by ripping off the Band-Aid, being able to show your face. Aaron, I FaceTime my friends all the time. Aaron, I hope you're feeling better. I miss your face. So get started with that. If that helps you start growing your confidence, heck, if it's even me, like, a bunch of girls on our team, we do like a little video webinar, and whenever we answer something about women, man, whenever we answer, someone's got to go, I'm sorry about the way I look. Nobody cares about the way you look right now. It's okay. Nobody's judging. Nobody's saying anything. Kristen, you raise your hand. You scare me when you're driving. Go.
I did. Okay, so here's my mindset about showing my face. Most of the time I do. The only time is obviously when I'm driving, because obviously I got to kind of focus on the road. But because Sydnee's talking about this, I really want to hone in on this. So my mindset about showing my face is I want to show my team that I am taking this seriously, and I want to engage with everybody and treat this like, for me, it's like a job. Like my thing that I want to be, if I go into a meeting, I want people to see me and what I'm about, my expressions, everything about me.
Yeah. Yeah, touche. Thank you. Be careful driving, please. And I think that's one thing too, what you're talking about with your team and like duplication, right? Like if someone, and it was kind of just what happened right now. And I was like, oh, I'll see a face. And then multiple of you turn faces on. It is a form of duplication. People will like, almost FOMO. Like, I don't want to be the only one with my camera off or whatever, and then we got people in the comments saying sorry. So I was like, I didn't mean to touch it. Like it make people feel guilty. But it will create some kind of duplication. And I always start at the bottom of my notes for some reason, but this is what I think I need to start with, because I had this conversation with a bunch of women on our team yesterday. Is like, sometimes you have to start showing up as her or as them before you are them. I used to say quite often, borrow somebody's confidence. And over time, I kind of feel like you can't really do that. You can't really borrow someone's confidence. It's not going to really make you feel any more confident, right? Like it might make you in the moment feel confident, but can't really borrow someone's, like, if someone's really good at closing, you can't be like, hey, can you lend me that? I'm going to use it for this. You could take their words and all that stuff, but you might come out and say it shaky or mess up the word or stutter. So you almost have to live in that version of yourself that you know is capable before you become that. That's how you become that. Living in that version of yourself where you're just like, here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it full throttle. Whether it's painful, whether it's not perfect, like I'm just going to be present and consistent. And that's some of the stuff that I want to talk about today, like more. And I created this more into an acronym, but I thought about it because everybody's always wanting more on social media, more followers, more views, more friends, more content, more more of it all. They wanted to grow their business more. But and I'm going to keep reverting back to a lot of things that I heard this past weekend. Um, Everybody wants to be a diamond, but nobody wants to get cut. So everybody wants to do these really big things on social media, but are you doing lives? Are you stepping out of your comfort zone and doing reels? Are you stepping out and doing platforms that heck, you don't know what the heck you're doing? When I started TikTok, I had no idea what I was doing. Please don't go watch my first TikTok, but it's horrible. Okay. But I was like, you know what? I got to show up on this platform because I've learned my lesson. And here's the thing, too. What I believe Jess and I are here to do is we have made a path. We have made plenty of our own mistakes. I'll speak for myself. I don't want people making those same mistakes, especially if I've already done them. What I want to do is tell you, hey, here's what I did and that didn't work. Here's what I did and that did work. So that you're able to just check that box off and not even go down that road. And what I see so often with people is they sleep on things because they're like, well, I'm going to do it eventually. Well, and then when the next thing comes out, it would have been easier if you started with that thing, right? And the next thing comes out, like when I push live videos, I'm like, come on, guys, just live videos, live videos. And then TikTok came out and everybody's like, oh my gosh, now I have to do like a 15-second video. And it was like, yeah, but the comfortability was there for the people that were already doing lives. Because they were already talking for 10 minutes. So like for me, I was like, heck, now it's only 15 seconds. Perfect. Usually I can just blab on for 12 minutes. Like, this is great. You want to be at that point where you're just starting because you want to start and get in. You want to be at that point where you're not going, oh crap, I'm getting in the middle of it, right? Like, and just to preface, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. If you're saying right now, like, I haven't done anything on TikTok in years, I haven't done anything on, whatever platform, it's never too late to start. And the more that you sit and you contemplate, hey, should I get started today? Hey, should I do something today? Like, I kept hearing this guy's name this weekend. His name's Alex Hermosi. Hermosi. I'm going to put it in the comments, actually, so you can go look him up. A great human, he looks like, honestly, to me. I don't know him personally. But he has a wife also named Layla.
Have some gum.
Sure, do whatever you want right now. Smart kid, man. He always knows to ask me for things he's not allowed to have when I'm on a meeting, because I'll just say whatever you want right now. Don't even care. So Alex Hermosi and his wife Layla, just great people. If you follow them, they're mainly on Instagram. He did this whole video on Instagram about how about a year ago about how content creation was just something he did not want to do as a business owner. I'm actually not even sure what they do for business. Now I just think they're content creators. But he was saying, I'm not doing content creation. I'm not doing videos as a business owner. And this last year, he totally flipped the script. And he has a little video talking about like his script, his little clip where he said, this is stupid. I'm not doing it. And then he's like, and look at me now. This is all I'm doing. All I'm doing is 15-second short videos. All I'm doing is content creation. Because in the world that we're going into, right, into 2023, growing an audience is going to be more important to your business than anything. If there is some panoramic again, some Panda Express happens again, and we're all behind our computers, where are you going to perform? You're not going to be able to get in front of people. Lord have mercy. I hope I didn't that never happens again. But the point is, you have to be prepared for those types of things. How about, remember when Facebook went down? I don't know when this was, like last year or something, or I don't know. The last 3 years have felt like a decade. So whenever it was, but remember when Facebook went down for a day and people went into utter panic, like lost their minds, right? Not gonna lie, I was one of those people because I really wasn't working other platforms. I didn't have an email list. I didn't have a spot where I had all my customers, like a Trello board or something. And I panicked. I've grown my business off of Facebook solely. I panicked. I was like, what the heck am I going to do? What I learned in that very moment, that is if that ever happens again, I have my TikTok, my Instagram, my YouTube, I have an email list, I have a Trello board with all of my customers. That will never, ever worry me. And that can happen though at any time. So if it does, or if it did, do you have a spot where you could be like, okay, I'm good. That's fine if that goes away for forever, right? That's a free entity. I just want to remind you guys of that. Facebook is all free entity. It can go and come as it pleases. And we have to be prepared as entrepreneurs to pivot if that is ever to happen. It's like when TikTok came out, lots of people were like, nah, screw that. It's not really for me. I'm not really going to go to it. And it was funny because this last weekend, we had like this incredible mastermind with Danelle Delgado. And she's great on Instagram, great on Facebook. She's somebody, she does Friday night lives. Every single Friday night she'll go live. And when I heard TikTok come out of her mouth, I was like, okay, yep. Writing it down. I was like, yep. Okay. Because for a while too, I'm like, is this a joke? Is this kind of funny? Like, or is this actually like business stuff? And I've watched people, and maybe you have too, I've watched people overnight go from 0 followers to 100,000. There's massive virality there that is very capable. But it's also a matter of like people showing up on there, people doing things more than just funny stuff. Okay. Cause I'll be honest, like I got a lot of followers from just doing a very stupid Carol Baskin video. It honestly happened on accident. I couldn't really tell you how that algorithm even worked that time, but I got like 6,000 followers overnight just from a Carol Baskin video. And I was like, wow, that's cool. But I took that and I take those followers and I drip business on them pretty consistently. I'd say like 90% of my customers lately are coming from TikTok videos. Half the time, like I love to ask people that too, like, where did you find me when they say TikTok? I'm like, wow, really? I do a lot of attraction marketing on there though. A lot of different things that will just make people ask what. And that was one of the things I learned this weekend too, that I was talking about with some girls on my team yesterday is in business, especially when it comes to social media, we love to vomit on social media. We love to just like give it all. Like, this is what I do. This is what I'm doing, to spill it, right? What if you were, instead of saying everything, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, like you're making posts that would just attract people to you. And another thing Danelle said is like, when people ask her what she does, she says, why do you ask? Instead of us going, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I help people do this and blah, 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 and I help people scale online, right? The last 4 people that I had that asked me about my business, I was like, why did you come to me? Why did you ask what it was about? And I got such better results from just asking them because, right, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen more and talk less. We tend to bleh all over social media. Here's what I'm doing. And that stuff used to work 7 years ago when I got started. I could just go on there and be like, here's my phone, buy it. And people be in the comments, yes, sign me up. But now everybody's kind of, not everybody, but you see lots of people selling things. You got to start setting you apart. And that's a podcast episode that I did on personal branding. But that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about today. Like, what sets you apart when it comes to your personal brand? What would make someone go, I want to be a part of that, or be with them instead of them, right? A lot of it for me is showing up. There's no way that I would join somebody in business that doesn't show up consistently on social media. That's just me, because I know the power of social media. And also I know what I want to duplicate on my team. So one of the things I want as a task this week, and I'm going to give it to you in the beginning, that way I don't forget, because I realize that we are a task-driven group. I'm a task-driven human being, so I hope you're the same. I want you, when we get off here, don't have to do it now, go on every platform that you are consistently on or you want to start being consistent on. And I want you to screenshot your followers, your friends, anything like that. And I want in the next week that to grow by at least 100 people. At least 100 people. And if you're feeling frisky, how about 100 people on every platform that you're going on? That's what I'm doing. I'm going to do 100 more on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for me. Because growing an audience is going to be the most crucial role that you have in the next, 2023. Because we can create all the best content in the world, but if we don't have any friends to show it to, that's why the engagement is low, right? It's so important to start growing an audience of people to be able, because when you level up and when you're getting to this next level where you're becoming her or him, because I see Timothy's here now, so we got a him in here. When you start to want to become him or her, them, you got to start acting like them. You got to just start being them. That's how you start attracting more, right? Like, I'm not kidding you guys. When I level, like this last weekend, I was like, okay, you know, I went into a very successful or very like excited, and I've had success in business, but there was a level up that happened for me. There was a major level up that happened for me that I was like, you know what? No, no more of that. We're not playing small anymore. I'm not living small anymore. And immediately people sensed that level up. I didn't even have to say anything. Like, just in my posts, I had people messaging me. They're like, okay, like I feel a shift going on with you. Like, what's going on? So that part of you, you kind of just have to live in that part. And I shared this with some of our team, but I'll share it in the Hustle and Slay group too. I'm totally okay with that. This playlist that I made on Spotify, because I think it's very important that when you want to be who you are, you act who you want to be, right? So it's a playlist just of music that like amps me the heck up, that makes me feel like I'm number one, like I could run through a wall and no one would stop me. You need something like that, especially before you go live, especially before you're about to reach out. When I'm reaching out, if you come in my office, you'll think you're walking into a club, because there's no way I'm going to have it like quiet in here with my own racing thoughts of, is this person going to say no while I'm reaching out? No, I need like hype music. I need like Unstoppable. I need Champion by Carrie Underwood, like all that stuff that puts me at a higher level energy. So that shows through my messaging. Okay. Before we start in the more, I got a digital creator account and I had a couple people ask me about that. Y'all, I'm gonna be the guinea pig for this one. I'm not sure how I like it yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I flipped to digital creator on Facebook, which basically just means that they'll basically start paying you for certain things when you get to a certain level. Don't go look it up right now. It's totally not a big deal. But immediately when I did the digital creation, all my story views went down like massively. So I was like, I don't know if that's worth it. I'm very capable of growing a business. I'm not worried about, anything like that. So I'm going to keep you posted on the digital creator part of it. I know there's people who have asked me that before, so I'll keep you posted on like what I think and feel about it. You can always switch back if you switch to it. So that might be what I'm doing too. Once I see, I had like a really nice aesthetic going on my Facebook page and it took it all away. So I'll let you know how that goes. But all right, I want to start with M and more, and I'll post these in the Hustle and Slay page so that you have them, so that you can look through them. But M and more, I want to talk about mastering your plan, and your plan when it comes to owning your social media. What is it that you're doing or that you're going to do, right? And because here's the thing, you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. I'm just rip that band-aid off. You keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results. You want to see something different, you got to do something different. You've got to rip that band-aid off and do something a little bit different. You want people coming to you like, what's the shift in you? What's the energy of you, right? Think about if like those people on your chicken list and they come to your page, and especially if after you've reached out and they see a shift in you, they see a higher energy level, they see something happening that they want to be a part of, versus if they come to your page and they're like, well, I don't know, that person hasn't posted in forever, or well, their posts look like kind of not inspiring or sad, or Lord have mercy, they're talking about all the stuff going on in politics. You can talk about that if you want to, I don't care, but I'm just saying, right? I want you to get real serious about working on your personal brand. And again, if you missed that episode, I think it was like the week before last, it's on the podcast, it's on the YouTube channel. Get very serious on working and growing your personal brand, and it's going to help you master your plan. Because then you're going to go, I know what to talk about. I know what to share. I know what I want to do, right? I think about, this is a huge thing, because growing a personal brand in 2023 and content creation, hey girl, Miss Sheila, hey. Content creation is going to be enormous in 2023. And I'm not saying that I'm right about everything, okay? Cass will tell you I'm only right when it comes to him. But I've said for years, do lives, do lives, do lives. I knew it was getting to something. So if you take anything away from what I'm saying, content creation and building content and growing a personal brand in 2023 is going to be huge. Think about this, okay? Gary Vee, who I talked about last week, a huge personal brand, right? He started basically making viral videos about garage sailing and thrifting. And look at all the people who are doing it now. Garage sailing, thrifting, they're making 6 figures off reselling. When I was garage selling and thrifting in 95 with my mom, that was not cool. Okay? It was not cool. We did not talk about the fact that mom went to Goodwill to get us jeans. Now all you do is find these kids at Goodwill. My niece is 16. That's the only place she wants to shop is Goodwill. I'm like, do you want to go to Target? No, take me to Goodwill. I'm like, okay. Things will change and shift. And he's grown a literal personal brand off something that people thought 10 years ago was stupid or was like not cool. He's making it the coolest thing. He's selling Pokemon cards. So get your mind out of whatever you think you're doing right now is stupid, not cool. Everyone can build a personal brand. And I want you to, if you haven't, again, I'm just going to keep saying, go back to that because I gave you tons of really good ideas to start building a personal brand. Every single person here runs a business. So you have a brand, you have something you can talk about. There are lots of things you can talk about. You're just underestimating yourself. Another thing about mastering your plan is, have you figured out where your audience is? So when we talked last week about jumping on other platforms and being a part of other platforms, I really want you to think about, okay, where is my audience? I've shifted a lot to LinkedIn because I am looking for a different type of person in this level of my business. I'm looking for a more business person, right? And I realize LinkedIn's a place for that. I love LinkedIn for that because everybody can just business there. It's business only. It's like a walking BNI. I'm like, sign me up because I only speak business. So have you figured out where your audience is? And again, I made Inside the Hustle and Slay page. So if you didn't go back and check it off, I made a little poll about TikTok because I would like to train more on TikTok. I just want to know where everybody is at and stands with it. Because I would say 90% of people right now on here are consuming. They're just not creating there. And I want to help you create there because anywhere that you're scrolling and you're not taking time to make money off of that, to profit off of that, to even be able to share your solution with people. There are so many people on TikTok. I hate to, I'm going to use the word anyway, whatever, whining about, I don't have money for this and I don't have money for that, right? Each and every one of us has a solution to help someone. And there are lots of eyes on that app right now, hundreds of thousands. So go in there if you get a chance after this too and do a little check off for me. So when it comes to mastering your plan too, do you have like scripts? Do you have things that you are doing that are going to help you? And that's why I was talking about last week, learning about something. Stop over talking, stop overthinking, start listening more, start asking people why they are asking you about the business. Start asking people why they're even interested in having an online business. And I'm sorry, I'm leading with it. Actually, I'm not sorry. I gotta stop saying sorry so much. I lead mostly with the business because I know that business is what can help anyone. So that's why I love to lead with a business. Business not for you? Cool. Here's your product, be a customer. But I love leading with a business. Nobody doesn't like more money. If they do, I don't know what's wrong with them. So when you're talking to people, right? What interests you in asking me about this? Or what interested you about my post that made you want to come and ask me? Because then you know exactly where their pain point is and you know how to reach them. Almost every single person, I gave this little script out to some girls on my team, but almost every person I gave it back to. And it was just this big thing of, I have a lot of moms on my page, obviously. And I said, I totally understand. When I became an entrepreneur 7 years ago, it was because I always wanted to be at home with my son. He's now 5. I haven't missed a day in his life. That was a pain point for each one of those people because they were like, oh, that's what I want. I want income and I want to be able to stay at home with my kid. But I only figured that out by saying, what had you come and ask me about business? Well, I see like your son's always with you and you're working. Like, I love that. I want to do that. I wouldn't have known that if I was just like, but this is the opportunity I have, but this is the product I have, right? Without listening to exactly what they need so that I can tap right into that pain point. And more is optimizing your social media, optimizing it. What platforms are you showing up on? How are you showing up on them? What are you doing to set yourself apart? Like Jess was saying on Monday, what's your superpower that you can optimize when it comes to your social media? Like when she was talking about me being funny, I was writing it down because I was like, well, I mean, I know I'm funny, but I was like, I probably need to use more of that, like quick-witted stuff when it comes to TikToks or when it comes to, short reels and stuff. Like I tend to use other people's funnies. I would like people to use my funnies, right? What's a superpower that you can tap into on your platforms? It's business for all of us because every single person here is a business owner. You can start talking simple things about your business. Hey, do you have accountability? Because I do. Every single Monday and Wednesday, me and a group of people meet for accountability. Hey, do you have an online business? Hey, do you know how to save this much on your taxes every year? I don't know how much, but still, by having an online business, by having a owned business, being an entrepreneur will save you on your taxes. There are very simple things as business owners that we can tap into that will help us optimize and stand out on social media. Hey, do you want to work 1 to 3 hours a day and earn an extra 6 figures this year? It doesn't matter if you haven't done all of these things already. You know what this industry is capable of. You know what the people on this screen, in your teams, in your groups, in your companies are capable of. You have to live in them to become them. Get on that level. I want you to sit on the highest pedestal. Like when you're working, I want you to imagine yourself on the highest pedestal there is. Okay, nobody knock you down. The highest, okay? So when you think about too, like, have you thought about doing a YouTube channel or a podcast? Like I think about Erin Jarrell. We're just picking on you this week, girl. An incredible human who wants to speak and do amazing things. Like, why not start a podcast? It's very simple to do. I could teach you guys how to do that too, very fast. But maybe that will be one of the things I do. I know Jess did a podcast years ago, and she's still getting traction for her business today. I pitched myself to go on someone's podcast yesterday. I was scared crapless. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, what am I doing right now? But I was like, you know what? I am living at her level before I become her. So I'm just gonna pitch myself. Let's go ahead. And this lady who offered to push herself, to push you out to her whole audience if you jump on her podcast. And if she selects you, she'll just push you out to a bunch of other entrepreneurs. I'm like, heck, what do I have to lose? I talk every single Wednesday here. I got something to talk about. Are you optimizing the platforms that are available to you? Or are you just sitting on your hands going, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get started. You have tools here too. Like if somebody wants to learn how to start a YouTube channel, go on that Hustle and Slay page and say, hey, I want to learn how to do the YouTube. I want to learn how to start a podcast. You can take Facebook Lives, download them to your computer and make them into a podcast. It is not hard. I promise you. It's just too many people going, well, step up and start living as her, as them, so you can become them. Erin, you would do great on a podcast, girl. I'm telling you, people love to laugh, especially when it comes to podcasts. So just think about that too. All of that, like podcasts, YouTube channels, all that stuff lives for years. It's a great way to optimize the platforms that you have. Collaborating with other entrepreneurs, right? You can do remixes on Instagram or TikTok. So like if you see a reel or a TikTok that you like that someone else did, you can remix it, which basically means they'll be on this side of the screen, you're on this side of the screen. But what happens is they get a tag that you remixed it, you get pushed out a little bit more. Collaborate with people. Go live with people on your page. Go ask people if you can be on their podcast. The worst that they're going to say is no, right? But it's all more exposure. It's all more. The R and more is resources. So what are you using to connect when it comes to groups? Maybe you have scripts. Do you have a webinar? If you don't have some of these things, don't be scared. Go create your own. Our Facebook group for our prospects and for our customers is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to us. It's a great place to continue to drip on people as you're putting them through a funnel, as you're talking more with them, as they're checking out more about your business, your team, they see what opportunities you have available. So really get a plan together for your resources if you and your team don't already have one, but you could even create your own. Like Jill and I have talked about her doing her own Facebook group for a while. It's a great resource to have. It shows credibility too in you in an online space. And E, I'm going to put all these in there because I've realized I'm way past time already. I'll put all these in the group. E is effort. Okay. This is going to be the hardest one, I think. which requires no brain power, really. But how much effort are you going to put into this? What's your effort level? Do you want this at part-time or full-time? Totally up to you, right? But when it comes to effort, you know, and how much you're putting out on Facebook and how much you're putting out on Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media, right? Are you like needing to reach out or you're needing to go live, but you're like, I'll do it after this Netflix episode? Because I want you to think in my head, I want you to see me in your head, right? You have to be her before you become her. You want more out of life. You keep doing the same stuff, you're going to keep getting the same results. You got to do something a little bit different. And I want to leave you guys with this. Belief is going to be the one thing that's going to help you get more when it comes to all of this. Do you believe in what you're selling? Do you believe in yourself? 100%. People can smell BS from a mile away. Okay. A mile away. They can see that lack of confidence. Sheila and I were just having this conversation the other day. I'm like, dude, I see a level of confidence in you that I've never seen. And when you're talking to people and you have that level of confidence, it doesn't matter if you're selling them a dirty diaper, they're in. They're like, wow, that's just impressive. You're so confident. People will want to see a part of that and be a part of that. So do you believe that you're capable of scaling online? Do you get off here and you're like, oh, I'm so excited, I'm going to go live, but I don't know if I can do it. You have to believe. It is so important. Start making post-it notes. I know Kristen has them all over her computer like me, right? Like, I can go live. I am confident. I am confident everywhere, y'all. I don't wake up in the morning feeling confident all the time. So I need to remind myself I am confident. Remember when you were a child and you wanted to be an astronaut or a doctor, or you were insane like me and you wanted to be a gynecologist? I didn't really know what it was. I just wanted to give birth to babies. But when I found out what it was, I was like, never mind. I don't want to do all that. I just want to be the baby giver. But remember when you wanted all that stuff, no one told you that was stupid. No one said this is a dumb idea. You shouldn't be an astronaut. Not a lot of people go to space. They were like, yeah, little Kristen, be an astronaut. You can do it. What happened in the midst of us now? What happened that made us feel like we can't believe that anything is possible or have belief in ourselves? You could be an astronaut tomorrow if you want. I don't care if you're 50. You can go change your whole life tomorrow if you have belief in yourself and where you're going and capability of scaling. So I need you to get back to that child inside of you that has no fear, no one telling them what they're doing is stupid, or that they can't do it, or that they're too old or too young or too far. And just remember that you're capable of anything and that anything is possible. All right. I'm going to put the more whole thing in the Hustle and Grow page or Hustle and Slay page. Again, there's a TikTok little checkoff box in there. So if you go check it for me, that way too, I can start maybe training some things on that. Maybe I'll do some videos. So if it's not for you, you can just go watch it and share it out with your team. But thank you guys for always hanging out and being here. I appreciate you more than you know. Go kick ass this week. Bye.